stuff that I'm gonna have to throw away. So, I mean, it hurts. Here I used to have all my CDs. In here, that was all my favorite music. This is about 1/10 of the books that we had in the house. I managed to place the rest, some other already threw away. There are a lot of memories in here. Some pictures, some that I kept, some that unfortunately I'm not going to be able to keep. I'm starting to get some very strange feelings. I'm not a person that's attached to things, and I'm not attached to places. I easily move to another countries, I leave stuff behind. But today's a bit different because today it's a very symbolic day. When those guys are gonna come here today with a truck and pick up everything, this house is gonna be empty. And being it empty, despite us having, I don't know, 2 trolleys worth of stuff in the house, it's just gonna feel super weird. Because now it's really in my face. It just say that I'm not gonna have the house next time that I come here. And it starts to bring memories. And I imagine for people who are not used to getting rid of stuff, this must be horrible. Now, I've been carrying stuff up and down the whole day today, so that those people can just come here and do everything as quick as possible. And I'm really struggling with what I'm feeling right now. What is it? Is it happiness? Is it that I'm gonna miss the house? What is it exactly that's going on right now? So let me give you some background. This house has been built finished to build in 1981 from my grandparents. After that, my parents moved in, and we lived with my grandparents in this. So it's always been a house that has seen a lot of movement, let's say, a lot of life. Then my granddad died in 97, my father died in 99 when I was about 10, and then my grandmother died in 2009, and finally my mother died just a few years ago. And since then, this house has always been a safe place for me. Became an empty house, just a memory that it was here, but it would cost a lot every year. Almost 3 months of my salary that I make in Sweden would go onto this house. So it's been really nice, a lot of really good memories, but those last years have been really having much on my shoulders and on my pockets. So it's a no-brainer. I have to do it, and I want to do it. I want to do it, as I said before, because this house, it's really a good house, and I want somebody else to enjoy it and to get the best out of it. I just want somebody to love it as much as I do, and I think it's now time to just raise a white flag and just sell it to someone else and just say, enjoy and good luck. I hope it's going to be as nice to you as it was to me. And I cannot help but thinking that if you're watching this video, you might going through the same thing, or you've been going through this, or maybe you're preparing yourself for when this moment arrives. And I really want to say some positive words for you to think about. So first of all, I want to point out that how amazing it is that you have such warm feelings and such a good memories from your childhood home. Keep it with you. And just be thankful for what that place really meant for you, what it gave you. Second, I want to think about, if you really, really love that place, just think about what is best for that place. Now, you might be in some hard situation where you have to sell a house. Mine is kind of like that. I would like to keep it, but I cannot because it's just too expensive. I cannot afford it. So you might be in similar situation, you might be in a situation where your family is in difficulties or whatever your reason might be. And to start with, I'm really sorry to hear it. But now I think it's time for it to have someone else that might be enjoying it. And I know that the feeling might be nobody will ever enjoy it as much as I do. But we're many thinking about that, about our place. And a young family that can move in, they're basically going to repeat the process once again. One day they will be here, maybe talking to a camera, looking at this house and thinking how sad it is that I'm going to sell it. So I know that the best for my house is to have somebody here that can enjoy it. And it's just a fact. So I have to face it, I have to do it. And then finally I want to share a few words that a family friend of mine told me and that really helped me. So I was afraid that by selling this house, I would basically lose the memory of my family, because this is where my family was, and this is the last time that we were all together. But then this friend told me that maybe it's not the house itself that is the memory, it's the safe place. So this is where my family was, this is what my family gave me, and where my family created this really nice, safe place for me to be in. But maybe now the cycle starts again, and by selling this house and the money I make for this house, I will be able to create a safe environment where my family can live in, and where my children will be able to be, well, feel safe and have hopefully as good as a childhood as I had in here. And I think this really helped me. This really turned everything around for me. With this, let's say goodbye to the house. I would have the best birthdays out here, and we would have a really long table with a lot of food on it, and we would be playing football out there. There would be 2 tall trees that would be the goal, and then we would play out there. All the kids would be running around. We used to make pizza in that oven, where we start the fire, and we would have really good pizza that we would serve. And you can imagine like 20-30 people out here. It would be big parties, amazing times. And when you're a kid, you don't need big stadiums to play football. The half of this gate and that box would be the one goal, and that one would be the other goal. And we would play here like 10 kids with a ball, just running around, destroying all the plants and making my uncle angry. And during my teenage, we would get this area fixed, which was the basement in the house, and that's where I would spend all my time. I would have a really big desk here with my computer, my vinyls. That's where I discovered Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin. That's where I spent hours and hours of my life, of my teenage years. And I would have a stereo out here, and here a big table, which is actually that table right now that is gonna stay here. And this is where we would be parties. We would have my friends. I have one of the best pictures that I can remember out there. When it was my birthday, and we took my cake, and we would have all my friends, my school friends out there. This was the best teenage place I could ever have dreamt of. I'm so thankful that I had this place. And this was my bedroom for many years. And I had a desk down here. Now the curtain is just hanging down, but this is still the same curtain that I've had for all my life, basically. This is my parents' original bed, but I used to have a 140 bed, 2.20 meters long, so that I would finally fit with my feet. It was a big thing when we finally put in the air conditioning, and we didn't have to sweat every single night during summer. Now this street has seen many nights playing football, especially against those 2 gates. Like, this was our place. This would be Francesco out there, Massimiliano used to live on floor up, and then used to be the other Massimiliano out there, and we would meet there every single night and play football during summer. And one of my strongest memories, looking at those mountains, is that I've spent a full summer basically laying on the side of the balcony and studying all day, like every single hour of the day for about 10 months. That's the only thing I did. I didn't care about high school. I just went straight to what I wanted to become, which I didn't become. But that was a big point, a big change in my life. Because up until then, I didn't really study much. And I started to think that I wasn't good enough. And that was the moment where I decided to show myself that I would make it, that I was worth it. And that's where I studied a lot for the entry exam for the medical school, and I did it. I never went to the beach, and I have like 10 minutes to the beach from here, the full summer out here. Loved it. This is a very special room. This was the desk where my father used to work, and then had all his books and encyclopedias. And then you go 1 floor up. This floor is beautiful. This room is beautiful. Just incredible. Here you had old still books. My mom has some as well, especially out there. We would fold those things down and we had an L sofa couch where we would spend the nights and watch the TV. We had the TV there, and that's where my parents were, because we lived with my grandparents, and they would spend their night below in the living room watching TV, and my parents and I would stay up here and watch the TV up here. And one thing I used to do here, so we had a couch down there, and I used to either run up, come down here, and then jump down to the couch, or I would take this route to come up. I would step onto this furniture, there onto that, then I would jump over the couch, and I would spend hours jumping from up there to down here on the couch. And here I promised myself to be happy with this house, whatever it gave me, and to always remember for what it is, and to look forward to whatever I have in front of me, and to find a place that could be as safe my family as this was for me.